we're going to teach you how to calculate limit. There are 4 ways to calculate limit. First, use limit rules. Second, use algebra when the limit in the form 0 over 0. Third way, use important limit form sin x over x when x goes 0, which limit equals 1. The fourth way is the last way, to use the squeeze theorem to find the function's limit. Part 1. The first way to calculate the limit. Use limit rules to calculate limit. The first group of the limit rules, there are 5. And the first one is addition rules. Second one is subtraction rules. Third one is constant times function rules. And the fourth one will be product rule. Last one will be quotient rules. For quotient, be careful, denominator cannot equal 0. Another group, constant function limit is constant itself. Identity functions limit, it's their value. There is a power function, value, it's their powers. Radical function, composition of radical function. Let's say how to use a law to find this problem's limit. First, this problem is a quotient, so we need to use quotient laws. Before we use quotient law, we need to understand the denominator cannot be equal 0. So we use the law 5 to find this function's limit. Use this quotient law, then we can write the quotient's limit in the limit's quotient. Then we use power function law, constant addition, subtraction. We write the limit, go through this function to each of them. Then we use the power function, identity functions laws, and find the function's limit. Then we calculate this. We got the final answer, -1 over 11th. When you look at the calculation, the limit process, you can find the function's limit and the function's value is actually exactly the same. So this gives us a short way to calculate the function's limit, called direct substitution property. If f is polynomial or rational function and a is in the domain, function's limit equals function's value. This is working for trigonometry function, essentially function. And look at it here. Sine function limit is sine function's limit value. Cosine function's limit is cosine's value. And they use that to calculate the product x times cosine x when x approach to pi. Then it's just product, then use equals function's value at that point. We have actually equals -pi. Practice. Let's you try find this function's limit and x. Answer. So notice this denominator. Denominator when x equals 1 is 1 minus ln1, which would equals 1 minus 0 because ln1 value is 0. So the denominator equals 1, which is not equal 0. So we can use quotient laws to calculate this function's limit. So quotient's limit equals limit is quotient. So it goes to 1 sin x divided by limit x goes to 1, 1 minus ln x. When x goes to 1, use the function's limit as function's value. When 1 is in the domain of this function, same thing, it's in the domain of function. So the numerator will be sin 1, and the denominator will be 1 minus ln1. And so that's what give you sin 1 over 1 minus 0, which equals sin 1. This will be our final answer.